How's it going, everybody? I'm back here with another video on my return here on my DeCapped injectors, or the final product of my DeCapped injectors here. So I sent them to a guy named Eric Derr. Here's his information right here. That's his business card. I got his address and stuff covered up just because I didn't want to put his information like that on the web. However, this is his business that he has. So he has a regular day job, but this is something that he does on the side, and he stays very busy with it. Awesome guy. I've talked to him several times. Again, his name is Eric Derr. Company name is Derr Injector Services. So he does it out of his home. So when he's not busy at work, he services these injectors for people all over the country. That's his phone number and his email address as well. So if you're interested in contacting him, I thought I'd give him a shout out here first. Phenomenal guy, awesome guy, very personable. We'll talk to you about anything, any questions you might have. He kept me up to date on everything in regards to this. So what happens is you have to decap your own injectors, and I have a video of my decapping process that I did. So if you want to check back the previous video on that, you can. And what he suggests is you send him 2 sets or more of injectors. Minimum 2 sets, so that way if one set has a bad injector, or a few of them aren't flowing closely as they should to each other, then you can pick between a set of 16 better than a set of 8. So I actually sent them a set of 16. And they can just be any stock truck. Like I did the stock truck injectors. Typically those are like, I don't know, 25 pounds to 30 pound stock on like a 5.3 truck. And I actually just sent 2 different ones, 2 different part numbers. He said it doesn't really matter as long as they're both the same size and the same style and all that. 2 different part numbers here, as I sent. One was from my from a 02 Tahoe, and the other one was from a 05 Tahoe. Both 5.3s. I don't think there was really any huge difference in between the 2. I just sent them in separate bags so he knew. However, I just put them all in one single bag and just gave it to him like that and just wrote what they were. And this is how I got them back, in very like organized condition. He has them still separated 1 through 8. I think this one was from the 02 Tahoe, and that one might have been from the 05 Silverado truck. I might have said Tahoe earlier, but that's from the 05 truck. You know, and he has the part numbers on there, and the injectors 1 through 8 and 9 through 17. So 17, I sent them an extra one that I had. I think it ended up being bad, but I wanted to send it to him anyway. And it's cool he didn't charge me to flow test that one. So, but on the bags, you know, he wrote, you know, number 2, do not use low flow. And out of this one, he wrote, do not use number 11. So these baggies, I'm assuming inside their marked. Number 11, it leaks. Number 12, bad pattern. So out of 17 total, 3 of them I probably won't be able to use. However, the rest, when I talked to him, he said they all flowed great, and they were all within like 1%. Excuse me. Through the dynamic testing. So he said they were all actually really close to each other. So that was pretty cool. So I'll take one of these out just to kind of show you how he sent them. So again, he individually bagged them. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, this is how they look. He actually numbered them on there. So like number 10 right there. So that's pretty dope. Cleaned them up. I mean, they look really nice. I only got one hand, so I don't want to sit here and battle trying to get it out. But cleaned them up, put new O-rings on them, and new, I think they're called pintle caps. Put new pintle caps on there, and also he put new filters in. So I guess these injectors have a filter inside, and he put new filters in there as well. But as you can see through the bag, that's how I decapped them, and that's how they look. So but he put new pencil caps, O-rings, cleaned them up, new filter, and all that. And shoot, these look really clean. So yeah, I mean, I'm very, very happy. The price for me to do this was like $0 for me, just because I already had a Dremel, and well, I spent $3 on the little grinding adapters to use, so $3 for that, and then, you know, shipping, which was like $6 just to get them down to him, and then he charges a certain fee for each set that you send them. So I won't throw his prices out there or anything like that. I'll let him discuss that with you, as it might be different, or, you know, his prices could lower raise. I don't know. So if you're interested, just give him a shout out. But he has a certain amount, certain fee for each set, 8 of injectors that you do, and so I sent them 2 sets, so I paid double. However, it is like, I'll just say it's somewhere around, you know, less than half the price for buying new 80-pound injectors. So he also sends this. So this actually, I folded it in half because it had my address on it and then his information on the bottom, so I didn't want to show that on here. However, these are the tests that he did, and he shows you in depth kind of how it works. So again, injectors 1 through 8 and then 9 through 16. So I think this is the 02 Tahoe ones, and these are the ones from the 05 truck. There's 2 different sets of testing, so dynamic and static. So my understanding is, and I'm not a pro on this or anything, but if you know kind of the definitions of dynamic and static, so one is a test, kind of like it tests the injectors. It basically opens and closes the injectors at a different rate. So you might get a low pulse, like, you know, just, it might just open, close, open, close, open, close at a certain speed that's slower. You might run that for like 30 or 45 seconds or so, and then it'll speed up. Might run that for another 35 seconds or so, and then it might speed up again for another rate, for another certain amount of time. And that kind of shows like the overall health of the injector, and gets it, you know, just kind of like a better reading of the injector and how close they are closely matched to each other. So this one, you know, flew at 65 cc's, you know, 57 cc's, and, you know, next to it he wrote low flow rate, do not use, and the rest were pretty close to each other, you know, within 1 to 2, maybe 3 at the most. So 65, 57, 62, 66, 64, 64, 64, 66. And all the way down the line. I mean, even these are ones from the 05 injectors, and these were all a little bit better besides these 2, but they're pretty close to each other. But as you see, 11, leak, do not use, and then bad pattern for number 12. You know, and it tests here, leak, no, yes, just didn't leak. So I had 1 leaky injector, and none of these leaked. Spray patterns, good, fair, bad. So all these were good. Most of these were good except for these 2, and 1 he circled bad. And that one leaked, of course. So that's kind of like the deal on the dynamic testing. Static, to my understanding, is a more consistent flow. So if you ever see injectors like for sale online or something, and they say, you know, 80-pound injectors, that's kind of like what the standard is as far as like what the consumers look at and what the manufacturers or sellers kind of post. So if I want to buy 80-pound injector, I'll just type in 80-pound injectors on a certain website or eBay or whatever, and that's what'll come up. So my goal, I was actually gonna buy 80-pound injectors, but then I started to research decapping injectors and people having success with getting stock truck injectors to almost 80 pounds. And so I just thought I'd give it a try. You know, it couldn't hurt. I already have a set, and so I just decided, well, let me just buy a set of stock injectors. You know, I spent like, you know, $30 for like a set, you know, really, really cheap. And I just decapped them myself. And so here you go. These are kind of like your more standard flow rates as far as like your static flow. And look how they all came. I mean, all of them came, you know, except for the bad one, almost to 80 pounds. I mean, 75, 73.5, 76, 75, 75, 75, 73. And all these down here were all dang near the same, except for the last one, 73.5, but still. So basically, I paid, you know, less than half the price for 80-pound injectors that I just did myself, and I have, you know, more than a set actually. So now I get to pick and choose which ones I want to use, and I can put different injectors in each cylinder that might not that might need it more. So like I heard like cylinders like 7 and 8 typically will need like a higher injector in there. That's what I heard. I don't know for sure. I'll do some more research on that, but at least I can kind of pick and choose what injectors I want to use and then go from there. So I'm happy. You know, it's very detailed. His work is awesome. He said he was originally 3 weeks out, and I actually got him back in about a week, because I guess the ones he was gonna do, I guess they got held up. So he went ahead and bumped my order up and called me like after like 2 days after he got them and said, I'm done. And I was pleasantly surprised and happy, and he got them back to me fairly quickly, and it was all good. So so here he just wrote, you know, which ones to use. So that's awesome. And the percentage of how close they flowed with each other. So dynamic here, we're all like 1.53% close with each other, which is really good. And static, they're all 2%, which is really good, because this again is your more kind of true guide as far as how the injector is actually flowing. So, you know, between 1 and 2%, I'm happy with that. So anyways, y'all, just wanted to do a quick video on it, and I can't wait to get these installed. I'm not going to now because here in Washington it's actually been fairly cold. You know, some of you guys probably on the Midwest, East Coast are probably getting a lot colder temperatures than us here. But, you know, when it's cold here, especially like 20s, and then it's raining at the same time, I always find that that's kind of worse, because now you're wet and cold. So I'm not going to do any work right now while it's like this. I'll wait till it kind of gets up in like the 40s and 50s to go try to attack this. But yeah, so this is it. This is how they come. He sends a detailed description of it all. And that's who you got to see right here. I'm covering that address up. So Derr Injector Services. And if I could come on up here, there's his email and phone number. So give him a shout. Super nice guy, very personable. If he doesn't answer, just leave a message. He'll definitely call you back. I know he's getting busier and busier every year. I know from the year before to this year, he said his work had tripled as far as the amount of injectors that he did in 1 year to the next. So busy man, but very organized, has his stuff together, and I would definitely recommend them and highly suggest that you too as well. And I will be using them again if I need to. So anyways, y'all, didn't mean to make this video so long, but just wanted to show you a detailed description of how it all went. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.